Pets are nice to have. They're cute and cuddly, and it feels great to know you're allowing them to live long and happy lives. But many people bring pets into their home, and after the novelty wears off, they just get ignored. I believe most pets need love and attention, just like humans do. I know in my home when a pet comes in, it becomes part of the family and is treated like one. Owning a pet means taking responsibility for its well-being. If a person is not willing to meet the needs of the pet, then they shouldn't get one. But whether an animal is your pet, or one living in the wild, or is homeless, there is no valid reason to hurt them in any way. Because honestly, not many can defend themselves. Let me tell you some stories of the unlucky ones. This cat was found dead after being purposefully poisoned. And this cat was named Slim because he was so skinny when he came into the rescue shelter. He had boiling water thrown on him, and 70% of his body was covered in scald scars. This is Bruno, and he was rescued from a canal right before a few security guards were going to drown him. These cute kittens were only 2 days old when they were shoved in a plastic bag and thrown down a drain. This is Faith, and her ear had been cut off with a knife, and her body was badly burnt when they found her. This poor cat's name is Rocky, and he had been shot in the face with a pellet gun. He wasn't a stray, and he had a family who didn't even do anything for over 2 weeks, even though they noticed his wounds. This poor dog was found tied up with heavy rusted chains to a post. He was abandoned with nothing to eat, and he was exposed to the harsh sun and heavy rains. Things get worse. This puppy was majorly abused, and he was chronically in pain. He was paralyzed from the hips down, and the vet thought it was best to put him to sleep. These dogs were hung by hunters who didn't need them anymore. Who is actually this much of a cold-hearted person to just hang their dog and leave them to rot? I guess it's so much for man's best friend. This one was just hung for the sake of it. A man named Guillermo Vargas paid 2 children to catch this stray dog. He then tied up the dog with no food or water and said it was art. Later on he put out food and water, but it was out of the dog's reach on purpose. The visitors of the gallery watched the agony of the animal and didn't do anything. The dog died in the corner of that art gallery. This innocent dog tries to lift her head up to have one last chance to live after being beaten. What's really bad is the cat and dog fur and meat trade in China. This dog's forelegs were dislocated and tied behind his back and had a can shoved over his mouth so that he would be easier to handle before being viciously slaughtered for meat. I am so angry that people are this cold and don't care if animals suffer. Why do people abuse animals anyway? Not everyone is as cruel as I showed you, but they abuse animals in a different way. Some people don't realize what kind of shelter different animals need. They may keep a dog in their yard on a short leash all the time. Some people think that only punishment and intimidation are the only ways to discipline their pet. Others are cruel by not paying attention. For example, leaving their dog in a car with no windows down in hot weather. Neglect occurs when there is a lack of care. Owners leave their dogs tied up to a tree with no food or water, and there they starve. Some people intentionally hurt animals because they enjoy hurting things or because it makes them feel powerful and in control. They might even hurt an animal to control another person. For example, a husband might hurt the family's pet to show his wife what he could do to her if she doesn't obey his every command. The worst people are the ones who just simply enjoy pain and violence. All of the people that are able to do this to animals without caring need serious help. The workers in China are too greedy for money to care if the animals suffer. Would you let your dog get this way? I know I wouldn't. Many animals are euthanized each year, not because it's the merciful thing to do, but because they don't get adopted. Why can't people see what they're doing is wrong? It is just horrific that people can allow animals to be this way. I hope that one day soon more people will start to care, and that animal abuse gets put to a stop, as it just isn't fair.